Welcome back, family. All right, so we're going to get off into the world events right now, looking at boots on the ground, looking at the IRGC, the warning that they put out, and still talking about the three demands for a number of you that may have missed that discussion based on Iran's three demands to end the war. So looking at boots on the ground and the warning, this most recent warning from the IRGC. Okay. Now, I do have I believe I may have an interesting point as far as the boots on the ground. And I'll probably have to say this again. I don't know how many of you really may be in line with what I'm thinking as far as boots on the ground. Why do the IDF not go and um, take on that fight? Why don't they send the Israeli forces in on the ground outside of sending U.S. troops and trying to arm the Kurds? I mean, isn't it understood that the Israelis want this done? Why don't you send the Israeli forces in on the ground, for boots on the ground? That really should be, the main point in discussion, talking about these boots on the ground. That's my thought, and I'm not certain if others have heard that or are putting that out there and, looking to make it a trending discussion and or topic. Since they want boots on the ground, send the Israeli forces, right? Let them go and deal with it, boots on the ground. Okay. So we also have the IRGC warning that is most recently talked about as it pertains to the Strait. That it's not all the way closed, but they will permanently close it, and it will remain closed until all repairs, will be made to any damage centered around, their infrastructure. And I'll read, for you some of that conversation centered around, that warning. And then can't forget about the three demands. We have the three demands on deck that we can go through if you have not yet heard of the three demands that Iran have put out to end the conflict, right? But I really want to tread carefully, you all, and have some, discussion. Let's see, we got some people that seem to want to come up on the stage, but I want to tread carefully and have some discussion, centered around Israeli forces being the boots on the ground. I really think that needs to be the troops that you send in, boots on the ground, since, they are said to be the reason behind, this conflict. So it really strikes me from that standpoint. And I say, you all, as we talk about this sensitive, issue, that you really do consider all of our TikTok etiquette and mannerisms, so that no one is hit with misinformation or any violations. So with certain things that you want to express, just say allegedly, and those things will you'll be able to continue saying what you want to say, because we know the Israelis are very sensitive, in the nature of how information is dispensed about them. Now, they can say whatever they want to say about anybody else and anything else, but they have it, allegedly, they have it to where there are only certain things that can be put out about them, within media, across the board, and what information is on social media. Allegedly, that is what is understood, that they are controlling a number of the apparatuses and platforms that we frequent. Allegedly, that's what's said and or understood. So, talking about those boots on the ground, what do you all think? Should it be trending that if you want boots on the ground, send Israeli forces, send them in now. Let them deal with the Iranian conflict. They created it. They feel like they want it. Let them go and have this on their own, right? So I don't say this as if, I'm in support of what's happening, over there, and how they're invading, or the attack is going, against the Persians, right? Because I'll never side, with my oppressor. I will never side with the oppressor, and that's just what it is. But we got the boots on the ground, we got the IRGC warning, that we're going to talk about, and we do have the 3 demands. But I got somebody up on the stage right now. I got 2 somebody's up on the stage. New Norm and let's see, New Norm and Michael. Let's start out with New Norm.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning.
What would you like to add to the conversation, New Norm?
So I just find it odd that Israel was willing to. They're going into Lebanon with their military, and they want Americans to put boots on the ground in Iran. I just find that fascinating because Lebanon is, quote unquote, a much easier, target than Iran. So they taking the easy way out, to me, and not going into Iran, which is supposed to be, their arch enemy. Why they're not the first ones to put military personnel on the ground in Iran? Why do Americans have to do it?
Yeah, so I mean, I understand that, and it's like Lebanon is not even a part of this conflict like that. So I understand what you're saying. I think we should, to get it trending more, put that conversation out to have them specifically send Israeli troops to Iran. Like, let's make that a conversation, or let's make that something more people are talking about, because they are definitely dodging, that point right there. But yeah, that thing in Lebanon, even that, it's just unacceptable how those people are kind of caught, in the middle, and they're trying to figure out, like, how do we get caught up, in this? Anything else you want to add, New
I
Norm?
just like it just, man. Excuse me. I get all of these. I keep running into like a lot of these people that saying that, you know, Iranians. They kept, the reason why we had to go over there because they kept on chanting "Death to America, Death to Israel." But I had to think back and look like, bro, they're not saying that for nothing. Like that's the same thing that when black people say "fuck the police," we don't say that for nothing. There's a history there where we was not treated fairly by the police. and we came up with that slogan, "Fuck the police." So it's the same thing with them chanting "Death to America." There's a history there of America doing fucked up shit to them people, and they came up with that slogan, "Death to America." I get it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that goes back also to Operation Ajax. I tell people to make sure, they look at, that Operation Ajax to understand historically what happened and why this is going on. Hold on one second. We got Rocky 2, and then we got Nasir. All right, Rocky 2, what you want to add to the conversation? All right, Rocky 2 going once. Rocky 2
Yeah,
going.
well, I forgot. I didn't know I was muted.
Okay.
Okay, we produce two things in this country. We produce debt and dumb fucking people. With that said, we got a guy that was put in by the billionaires. I mean, is that the best the billionaires could do? A pimp, a con artist, a predator? You got to be kidding me. But here we are. And we got Iran, which is a great country. Yeah, we don't like them because of the petrodollar, for one, and the Jew. We side with Trump siding with the guy over there in Israel, and he doesn't even decide with the UN Security Council or friends or allies, NATO. Nobody. And you know what? He's got himself in. He's got himself. He's going to be in a crack, and there's nothing. We're done as a country. We're done. We sent troops over there. We're real fucked up. And is the Jew going to send his troops? Who knows? Probably not. But anyway, Trump is finally Benjamin finally found somebody dumb enough and stupid enough, because Trump doesn't know anything. He never learned nothing in school. In school, he had other people do his homework and all that shit. We all know that. And he's a president because we're a stupid country. This
Listen,
country is so.
listen, Rocky. Hold on, Rocky. Listen, you have to say allegedly when you make comments, as it pertains to Trump and his schooling and his homework. Otherwise, we really might get hit,
Yeah.
with
But,
misinformation. But
but
hold
anyway,
on,
that's not
hold on.
misinformation,
Wait a
sir.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold on, Rocky. Hold on one second, y'all. Give me a second. Let me get Uncle Maga real quick. Uncle Maga, I'm gonna come back to you, Rocky, and I'm gonna get Nasir. Also Uncle Maga going once.
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, how you doing? What you want to add to the conversation? Now we're talking about boots on the ground, and the thought is, why don't we demand that the Israeli troops, do boots on the ground? We're also looking at the IRGC, the new warning that they put out about the Strait, and then we got these three demands. Unless you're trying to comment about something, that you heard, or you just like to bring a new nuance, to the conversation. Go ahead, Uncle Mac.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna respond to what that guy was saying about everybody being stupid. It's classic projection. You see that coming from that side a lot, where they project onto the rest of us what they're afraid to be getting called out on.
Yeah,
He's
right.
like, everybody's stupid. It's like, yeah, you're just afraid to be
Yeah.
outed for being stupid.
Hold on, Uncle Maga. Hey guys, let me explain something to you about this platform, right? We like to run a very orderly platform as we get guests to come up on the stage, good, bad, or indifferent, based on their opinion. I like to let everybody, have their thought. If I interject, I will, interject. But I don't want you guys, coming up off your mic because you feel like, you want to respond. Once they get finished, I'll let you rebuttal, but I can't have you, coming off your mic trying to respond and, ramping things up in that manner. We want to do this with some real good discourse. Okay. All right. So, Uncle Maga, go ahead and finish your thought. Then I'll come back to you, Rocky. We got one other person, Eddie Phillips. All right, so go ahead, Uncle Mac. I'll come back to you, Rocky, then we'll go to Eddie Phillips.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to look at what Trump's been up to this past year. I mean, he got the Panama Canal. He's got the Venezuelan leader in jail. He's going after Iran. And next thing you know, it's going to be Cuba. And who does this all hurt? It all hurts our enemies on the east side of the atmosphere over there.
All right, Rocky, go ahead. I think you want to respond, then we're going to come, to Eddie.
Okay, somebody, see, you don't have critical thinking in this country, and there's proof right there with whatever his name is below me. No proof at all. You listen to a politician because you're dumb. I don't listen to politicians. I don't believe a word they say, especially a serial liar like Trump. Iran's a bad guy. Who said they're bad guys over there? How do you know they're bad guys? Right? Because the government tells us they're bad guys because they don't take our petrodollar? Yeah, that's right. And I got to tell you something. This is all going to go bad. Trump bankrupted 60 companies. You know why? Because he doesn't know anything. It goes back. He's nothing but a pimp, a con artist, and a damn good one. But if you don't have critical thinking, you can't see through him. And me, I always knew he was a pimp and a con and a big bullshitter. And so, you know what? You side with this guy, you got pimped.
All right, okay, Rocky, hold on, Rocky. You gotta get your TikTok etiquette up to par, man. You're saying a lot of things that you really need to be speaking allegedly on. Otherwise, you'll get us flagged, you'll get us banned, and I do want your thoughts to be, heard. And I know you want to express yourself, but you got to get your TikTok etiquette game. You got to get that up and know how to say allegedly when you put certain things out. Let's go to Eddie real quick and see what Eddie Phelps, have. And then we got DJ David and then Al Malik. Eddie, going once. Eddie,
All
you
right.
on
Good
mute?
morning. Yep. I just had to come off mute.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is at this point. And when it comes to the commander in chief, we've been had him since the beginning of this country. And but we inside the hornet's nest now. So yesterday is gone. We got to deal with now, and a great commander in chief and his staff, because near one of us, and I'm using that word and one of us in intelligence know nothing classified that's been going on truthfully in that sovereign, and I use that with parentheses sovereign country that's been in existence. We already know since the Spartans just changed the name. That's the thing. We in this border, you is not exempt because you don't like Trump. You're not exempt. And I'm not even going to speak alleged when this country, every country got to have soldiers. But you can't have a safe, secure country without a good defense. So if boots have to go on the ground, because we in it now, you got to go. Hell, I may have to go. And I'm old now. I don't want to go back, but it is what it is. So that's where we at today in our land.
Still say send the Israeli troops. DJ David, go ahead.
Listen, man. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, DJ
You guys
David.
hear
Go
me?
ahead.
I understand the gentleman that just spoke as far as his military thoughts, but that's just military thoughts, man. The other gentleman that was talking about Venezuela, I want to actually reply to what he was saying about them countries being our enemy. Okay, number one, who is R? Who is the R? Because see, only 70 years ago, actually every black person was the enemy according to economic warfare in this country and European countries. Now, when you actually looking at over in Africa and what those European countries been doing in Africa over the last 150 years, whether you're talking about Germany, whether you're talking about Belgium, whether you're talking about any of those countries, especially France in the 13 colonies. I mean, what we basically saying is when you referring to things, you must understand Venezuela is not your enemy. Iran is not your enemy. None of those Arab countries are your enemy. Now, when you compare the 250 years what the Ku Klux Klan have did, and you compare over there, what you want to say, that one country that you can't name, that United States is hooked up with, when you compare both of the differences, there is no difference. There is none. Look at history. But see, black people had to learn two different histories growing up. So that's two different timelines. According to European people, they only got one timeline. And historically, if you want to look at historically, many of their idols or heroes and stuff were very bad people, meaning these were terrorists, extreme terrorists. So what it breaks down to is this war was not about Iran in the first place. This war was about China and China's semiconductors and the chips. This is what the war is about. And America went after Venezuela because they wanted to contain China. But if you look at the history of China in America, America been trying to contain China for the last 30-something years as far as containing them. You know, a country gets sick and tired of you trying to rule them and control them. Because what it comes down to, America got a big problem when it comes to other countries' sovereignty.
Okay, hold on, DJ David. Some very interesting points you put out. We got a lot of people on the stage, guys, so let's try to keep our comments to a minute, 30 seconds to 2 minutes so we can, give everybody a chance to speak. If this is your first time to the platform, I want you all to know, don't just come off your mic. I'll be the one to interject. I'm moderating. I want to let people have their thought, good, bad, or indifferent. Then if you want to rebuttal, we'll make a way for you to rebuttal. I just can't have people popping off their mics, trying to argue, and definitely can't have you disrespecting, my guest up on the stage. DJ, we're going to come back to you with those, with the thoughts that you made. Very interesting points, right there. Let's go to Chili B, and we're going to go down the line from Chili B to Truth Seeker, then to Jarrell.
He makes some very, very, excuse me. He makes some very, very valid points. And it's very rare that people look at everything outside of the lens of American history. You have to look at other people's history and how other cultures live outside of the propaganda that America speaks. We've always been taught that we are the saviors of the whole damn world. We've always been taught that. We've been fed that. Just like if you go over to North Korea, they say, well, they colonial, not colonial, but they're communists. Anybody's communist except for us. But, we look at these other nations and say, well, if they get this, then they're going to do this. But America has never treated nobody right. Europe has never treated anybody right. Ever. Not even its own people. But we'll get mad at that country and say, well, they're unaliving their own people, this, that, the other. But yet, they strange fruited us, and there was no justice. Other countries then say, well, they're strange fruiting their people over there, and they're doing all this to their people. Let's go, penalize them for that. Nobody did that. They didn't intervene in our affairs. They may have talked about it, but they didn't invade us. They didn't put sanctions on us. None of that stuff. They didn't do that. But yet we can say, well, oh, Saudi Arabia, they're unaliving their people. They're doing this, they're doing that for the purpose of invading just to get their resources. If we look at Russia, name any country outside of that Russian territory, Georgia, Ukraine, that they've invaded and colonized and took all the resources. You can't name them. It's only America that's doing that. It's only Europe that's doing that. It's only France that's doing that.
Okay, Chili B. All right, hold on. Real good points again. I do want to say this, you all. Tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. We got a whole lot of people, in the room, in the house today. We got a packed room. So tap the screen. It don't cost you anything, y'all. There is the Daily Heart Me that's up at the top. Share this live, repost the live, because more social media platforms need to be looking at, this boots on the ground. Need to be looking at, the point that the IRGC, they have a new warning out, and there are also these 3 demands, that are up here. Okay, so I'm going down the line. Truth Seeker, you were next, Jarrell, and then we're gonna go to Minkins.
Hi, host. Thanks for having me up and letting me talk on your platform. Um,
Sure.
I honestly am very sad because unfortunately, we know that this WAR has nothing to do with the United States. It's literally the United States being used. I call it the Iraq Point 2 WAR. And the reason why I say it's the Iraq Point 2 WAR, it's the same story. With Iraq, it was they had weapons of mass destruction, again, from the Israeli sources. And now again, we're having the new one saying that Iran has a NUKE, and that's why we need to go and invade them. So that is the ultimate problem now. And the sad part is that you've already lost a few soldiers as already into this whole conflict. I mean, Iran, number one, cannot go and target you. You are way too far from them. That's number one. Number two, they haven't invaded. They haven't changed your policies. They haven't done anything to you. The only people that will benefit from the IRGC being gone is the Israeli people, because they see Iran as a threat, because Iran is literally helping proxy groups such as Hizi, such as Hamas in Palestine, trying to fight for their freedom. So that's why they want them gone, so they can go with their greater Israeli project. They don't care about the United States. They're just pumping you guys up to go do their dirty work like you did in Iraq. The only difference now is that they got it so wrong, and now we're all going to pay for it, because what they thought was after Khomeini is going to be unalived, may he rest in peace, that basically the whole IRGC platform is going to go, which now hasn't happened. And now we're literally going to go into a global recession because they are literally blocking the Strait of Hormuz, and all of us are going to pay from it, which meaning food prices are going to go up, station gas is going to go up. But yet at the end of the day, Israel is doing nothing except just pumping up the US to go do their dirty work. They're not going to send their soldiers in. They're not going to have their kids dying on the Iranian soil. No, it's going to be the United States people, just like they're forcing you guys to send your tax dollars to go and help with the whole G side to carry on. And it's sad because none of the American people signed up for this. And it just breaks my heart that you guys are going through this horrible infiltration of having to do their dirty work and losing your lives again like you did in the Iraqi war.
Truth Seeker, I can tell you're very passionate, about this. New Norm, I'm gonna let you down. You can come back up a little bit later, but I want to try and get Micah up on the stage. So if you want to come back up, you can come back up. Hey guys, just want to tell you to tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. The Daily Heart Me is up there. You all, this room is packed. Share the live, repost the live, and just remember, we're dealing with a high level of decorum, right here. We're letting people speak their thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent. Then we can follow up and rebuttal, if we need to. If this is your first time here on my platform, you will not disrespect the guest on my panel, and we will have an opportunity to rebuttal. So we're going to go to Jay, then we're going to go to Minkins, and then we're going to go to Mickey Talks. Jay,
Yes, sir. I'm here.
you up.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hey, and remember, try to keep your comments within 1.5 to 2 minutes, because the stage is full and we want to let everybody get a chance to interact and rebuttal if necessary. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Jay.
yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah, I got a chance to listen to you yesterday too, man. Good job yesterday. I got a chance to listen to you. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm blinded by patriotism, dude. I did 28 years, and I did not know that Israel had that much control over us. I mean,
Mm.
I'm really pissed off about it because I mean, you just blinded. You know, you serving, you just worrying about serving the country, the Constitution, all that good stuff. But I'm just really disappointed. And now we get ready to send these young troops over there for what? This is not what they signed up for. We didn't sign up for Israel. We didn't. I mean, people can get mad, and the soldiers on here, some soldiers support it. That's on them. But if they look at the whole picture, man, why would the leader of Israel come here? What the last 12 months he came, what, 6 times? That was a setup. It was a setup. And we know it takes 30 to 40 days to get a ship over there. So this has been planned. It's not like they just ship just pop up over there overnight. I mean, they played us right in our face on national TV. They showed it. They showed it. I mean, I'm pissed off about it, man, and I hate the fact that I even did all that time. And for what? It's just slapped in the face. And I'll go ahead and land right there, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Minkins, and then we're going to, let's say, Mickey Tox, and we got somebody, Robert. We'll go to Robert next. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to remind everybody that in the last 47 years, the IRGC kept on saying, let's unalive Israel, let's unalive America, like every Monday. So they're not innocent. They were a threat always, and they collaborated always against Israel. They created Hezbollah from 1,500 IRGC agents. I don't know if you know the history. So they are pretty much involved of the unaliving of 100,000 to 150,000 people in Lebanon. So they're not innocent. And of course, attack for like 47 years against Israel from the border of Lebanon. And for so long that somebody gonna threaten you and says, I'm gonna unalive you, I'm gonna unalive you. At some point you say, you know what? I'm gonna take you down. I don't care what the world think. I'm gonna finish that once and for all. And the involvement with the U.S., I mean, at the 12 days war, I think that Israel showed that we don't need the U.S. Pretty much, we never did. We never wanted the help of the U.S. You had an embargo against us until 67 when you needed us to be involved with Egypt. Then you said, oh, well, maybe we're going to help you. No, you needed our help in the Middle East. You don't know what you're doing in the Middle East. You need us. We are the one that's protecting you all the time. I mean, you lost the war for 20 years, right? In Iraq and in Iran. You had 20 years to win, and you kept on losing. You lost money, you lost troops, and you left them all their arms. So actually, you made things worse because you didn't know what to do. Now look at us. For the last 2.5 years, what we have done, we destroyed Hezbollah, right? In one shot, boom, kaboom, one shot, without even getting there, 5,000 people in 1 second. We destroyed 95% of all the army of Syria, and we freed the people because after 12 years that they had a regime against them, and we freed 2 countries actually. Now we're going to free totally Lebanon because now today we're taking down all the bridges until the Litani border, and we unalived all the people that involved in Yemen, and also all the regime, including 2 ayatollahs, in less than 1 month.
Okay, Minkins,
So basically, we are
those are your
supreme.
thoughts. Hold on, Minkins. Hold on. Because we try to keep you at 2 minutes, and we want to give other people a chance to respond,
Oh yeah,
even
for
possibly
sure.
rebuttal. So just hold on, put yourself on mute. We'll come back to you. Let's see. We got. Go ahead, Mickey Tox.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for having me up. In my military mind, I would just want to answer the question that you had posed about boots on the ground and who should necessarily do this. And in my military mind, I'm thinking that throughout this event, right now, we don't have a lot of infrastructure over there. Our infrastructure has been pretty much, disseminated. And so logistically, putting United States boots on the ground might be, it's very difficult. I don't see an amphibious landing. I'm prior service Marine. I don't see us landing amphibiously, and I don't see us coming around the other way. So the gentleman who just spoke, he's absolutely right. They can take care of their own business. We don't need to get involved in this. We need to just do what, tuck our tails between our legs and come on back home, because it wasn't our business to begin with. And since, it's not real, does not need us, then we don't need to put our American troops in harm's way. Because again, like the other gentleman said, that's not what, we signed up for. And I do believe that we've been downsizing, so we don't even have the numbers to perform this, if we even can get in there. And that's just all I wanted to add. I thank you again for letting me speak. Have a great day.
More people need to hear what Minkins had to say, as far as they don't need the U.S. and the U.S. is sorry, and the Israeli can send their own troops, up in there to handle what business they need to handle. All right, let's go to our
Yeah,
next.
exactly. Thank you.
We
We did it
Minkins,
for
do me a
12 days.
favor. Minkins, do me a favor. Don't just come off your mic. I mean, that's one of the rules. I'll call you when I'm ready for you. We're still giving other guests an opportunity to speak. So who did we have next after Minkins? I think that's everybody. Moonfox, hadn't heard from you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just a couple of things. I guess I'm like everyone else. When I started wondering why we did this, I thought to myself, well, it started with Venezuela, and I kind of got the impression that there were going to be some actions after Venezuela. I knew we had our oil infrastructure down there that had been taken over by Maduro and all of them. I know that people have been living under that situation for too long. Venezuela used to be a really lovely country, and then they voted in Maduro. No, actually, they didn't vote in Maduro, but and it remains to be seen what they'll do there. But I thought, well, when he added Iran to this, I thought, well, is it retribution for the past 50 years? Which, of course, I mean, it's been a long history, and I've lived through most of it. Of the incidences by proxies for the past 50 years, taking out thousands of Americans. Then I started thinking about China, and I know that about 60% of their oil supply was knocked out with hitting Iran, leaving, and China was left with billions of dollars owed to them by Venezuela. So I thought, well, maybe that's it. Then I was thinking, well, is this some extension of the Monroe Doctrine from way back when, where we're the purveyors of freedom for the Western civilization? Because that, with the Monroe Doctrine, we started, policing the world, so to speak. So I really don't know. I mean, those are just some ideas that I started to think about. I know, I mean, there is a single superpower now, and it's us. Our military is not deficient in any way. That's the reason we don't get hit directly. But China is working on their 100-year plan, and they are a real threat as far as the world goes. I mean, they are vying for superpower status as well.
Okay. All right, Moonfox, hold on one second. We're gonna open the stage. Right now, I'm sure some people may want to respond to what Minkins, had to say. So we're gonna open the stage and give you guys a chance to respond more and/or rebuttal. At this point, Let's see who would like to go first
Uh,
if you want
can I
to
go?
add your
Can I go, host?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, like I was saying in the beginning, though, there's a few veterans on here. If we go back and look, we signed up to defend the Constitution and the office of the president. We didn't sign up for no one man. I don't care who it is, Trump, Obama, whoever. But the stuff that we're doing right now, it's not our fight. If Israel wanted to go over there and let them do it, but Trump, he got played. We got played into putting into this position, and he need to just go ahead on and eat the crow and pull our troops out. Because if you send in, I don't give a damn if it's 10,000 Marines. If they go on there and they surround us in a bowl, they're surrounded by mountains, and then you got the desert in the middle. There's no amphibious land, like the sister was saying. There is no amphibious land. I don't care if it's Delta Force, Green Berets, whoever. They all gonna get treated the same. We got to just eat the crow and walk away. We got to, because we gonna lose. Either we losing money, we losing what, 1.8, 2 billion a day. Come on now.
No, we're not losing. We're not losing. Somebody getting
I
paid,
mean, yeah,
and that's the
just yeah,
thing.
yeah. I got
I say we
you.
have to, make the correction,
Okay,
when it comes to that money like that. Hold on,
I
guys. I
got you.
got two other people that just came up on the stage. Michael Kidd and then Buffalo Soldier. Michael Kidd, what you want to add to the conversation? Michael Kidd, you're on mute if you're talking. Going once, going twice. Okay, Michael Kidd. We're gonna go to Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo Soldier, what you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, thanks for letting me up. First off, I'd just like to follow up on what the last gentleman was saying. He's 100% right. This ain't our fight, okay? MAGA might want to cloud it as such, but this ain't our fight. And as far as China being a threat, look, man, that ship left that horse left the barn some 25 years ago. First off, in the 80s, when Reagan started, globalizing and outsourcing all of our manufacturing over to China, that set the stage. The fact that we didn't do anything about it for the next 40 years, or, in the beginning of the 2000s at the latest, to start to change course, that set the stage for where we're at today. We have an uncontrollable debt. We've outsourced our industries and manufacturing. We've lived like drunken sailors, high on the hog, not saving any money as individuals or as a country. And now we're caught between a rock and a hard place. And I think that the neocons and the Heritage Foundation and the Epstein class have figured all of this out, and they don't really give a shit. They're just going to try to squeeze every last damn drip of money out of this rock that they can. And then vamoose, and MAGA, you're complicit. You're complicit till the day is long. You're gonna wear that stench of MAGA long after this clown is gone. I tell you, and I'll land my plane like this. When I was growing up, I'm the son of a German immigrant, okay, that was born during the war and grew up in the rubble thereof. Okay. And when I was growing up, I used to get a lot of shit because I was the second generation and there was a stigma on Germans. And all the kids used to always say, how in the hell could the Germans be so stupid to allow themselves to be conned and by this madman that wrote down every damn thing that he wanted to do, tried to overthrow the government before, got sent to jail, and y'all still let him get into the parliament and eventually get into the chancellery and drive Germany into the shitter. How could the Germans be so damn stupid to allow that to happen? Better not one American ever have to ask that same damn question ever the hell again. You're going to wear that stigma out to the second generation, you MAGAs. You're disgusting. You got us in the—
All right, hold on, Buffalo Soldier, hold on. I think Robert is ready to talk. Guys, remember, try to keep your comments down to a minute and a half, 2 minutes. We got a lot of people that want to engage, as we're on the stage, and we want to have a healthy discussion. Look, remember, tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. The room is packed. Okay, the house is full. Share the live, repost the live. The Daily Heart Me. It is up there. Kind of let me know you guys are in the room and you are interacting with me. Robert, are you Richard Kidd? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead, Richard Kidd. What you want to add to the conversation?
Well, what I can understand is the gas prices is keep going up, and we don't really need no oil for our gas prices to be going up like they are. That's something that I just can't understand. And then our troops over there, some of them's already lost their lives, and for what? That's all I have to say.
Good. Now, you guys, we're gonna open up the stage, popcorn style, for any rebuttals or any
Hey,
new comments. Now, look, I did want to say this though. I originally wanted to talk about those boots on the ground, and I was saying, that the Israeli forces should be the boots on the ground into Iran, and someone on the panel sort of agreed with that. We also wanted to look at this new warning that the IRGC put out earlier today about the strait being permanently closed. If they're targeted, it will be permanently closed until everything is repaired. I haven't had a chance to read it to you guys just yet. If you know anything about that, you could talk about that. And then also the three demands. We talked about that the last time, but we still got that, on the table. So we're gonna open it up, right now. I think DJ wanted to make a comment, and I know who was that? It was
I
who
want to
was
make a
that?
comment too.
yeah.
Minkins. Minkins was the one who agreed that the Israelis don't need any help. Pretty much the U.S. is useless. All right, go ahead, DJ.
Hey, guys, I wanna share something with you guys, and it's something you can't think about. It's something So I'm trying to make it fast. Okay, look at the Arabs over there and study the history of the Arabs. It was at a particular time when UK came into the picture over there and helped them, what you want to say, with the oil, to get a business in with the oil, and the United States was all involved. Okay, then the Arabs wanted more money out of their oil, which wasn't their oil in the first place. Because if you look at the Arab slave trade, then this was massive. I mean, this thing was worse than the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, these were dark people. And the reason that I'm telling you this is because these people in Israel are not these actual people. These are Europeans. They had no ties to these particular lands. Now, it's easy to take narratives out of stories of a book and then play it all out. It's easy to do that. What I'm basically saying is some of those Palestinian people over there, many of these European people that's over here in America actually have more bloodline to the Palestinian people over there than them people over there that claim themselves to be Jews.
Okay. The
Many
floor is
of these
open.
Good
black,
point. You got a good point.
wait a minute, I'm gonna finish. Many of these black
Hold
people
on.
over
Go ahead.
here
Go ahead. I mean,
have,
hold on, DJ. Let him in. You had a chance to speak for a minute. Who was that said he had a good point?
I did. I did.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay.
Chili.
Okay. So here's the thing. After the war was fought in Germany, a lot of those people were exiled. Then the state of Israel was created in 1948, and those people were sent over there. When Israel became a state, that became strategic because Henry Ford started buying oil from those people. And once the Industrial Revolution started and started to pick up, he took that money. Not only did he fund Israel, he also funded the Yazidis. And that's how they became super mega rich, because oil was needed for those automobiles, for those engines, the new engines and the new industrial revolution that was kicking off, the building of plants and stuff like that. They needed that oil. So those are not the original people. Like he said, even the scripture says, I know to them that say they are Jews, but they are not, for they are of the synagogues of Satan. That's what the scripture says. And that's why they don't look at the real Bible in its totality, because they know that that scripture is actually talking about them. They are invaders of that land. So, and also to go back what another guy was saying, when people vote, there's consequences. These white people voted their racism an issue that has never been resolved throughout the foundation of this nation for 250 years. Now they're seeing the things that they've done is now coming back. The chickens have come home to roost. Finally has come home to roost. Now they're on the receiving end of all the dumb shit that they've given out. I don't feel sorry for them. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Can I
Because
rebuttal?
Hold on, Chili. We got Zaz Jones new to the stage, and then I'm gonna come to you. Okay, we got Zaz Jones, and then we'll open the stage back up. Zaz Jones.
Good morning.
All right.
How
What you
y'all
want to add to the
doing?
conversation?
I don't want to add nothing to what they're speaking on. I want to talk about something else. I'm ex-military, retired military. Got 8 people retired in the military in my family. One was an admiral in the Navy. And I'm going to tell you like this here. I'm in Beverly Hills right now. And 15% of Beverly Hills is from Iran. And 30% is from Morocco. And I talk to folks every day from Iran. They say we haven't been able to go back home since 1979 because of the change of the regime. Now, they happy that this guy was killed. And they're happy what's going on right now because they're hoping the Shah's son gets back in office because they can open Iran wide open, start trading. They could be one of the biggest economies in the Middle East. But these guys that's running the country are so arrogant. If you say something out of pocket, they'll come to your house, snatch you out, chop your head off. That's not a government what you want. If that's a government that you want in place, we might as well go back to slavery there because we want to be free. And my family was never in slavery. We couldn't find trace of my family in slavery. But if you want to say that it's wrong what they're doing, it's not wrong what they're doing. They need to clean up all these communist countries, clean them all up, get the government back flowing. That's what they need to do. And we got the most powerful military in the world. China can't mess with us. I don't know what military these guys was in. Russia can't mess with us. No, that's when they're not doing anything. They're just talking. Talking. See what I like about Trump? He's an alpha male. Now, ain't nobody saying nothing about what Obama
About
did.
shit right there, boy.
What? Huh?
Guys, don't
Serve
come
all
off the
shit.
mic.
Look at her.
Do
Let me-
not come off the mic. Do not disrespect my guests. I'm gonna tell you
See,
guys, we're gonna have some decorum.
He disrespecting me because I'm right. Let me tell you something, sir.
We're gonna let Zaz Jones finish his thought, and then if you want to rebuttal, we'll open the stage and you will be able to rebuttal, guys. But do not come off your mic and interrupt my guests when they're talking. Okay? Zaz Jones, finish your thought. You got 15 seconds to finish your thought. Then we're gonna let people rebuttal. Go ahead, Zaz Jones.
Thank you, sir. And I like what he's doing. And like he said, tomorrow, if they don't open up the strait, guess what? He's going to take out their power plants. And once you take out a person, they're already giving up. They already want to surrender. But he don't want to surrender, And like you say, Israel is not the chosen people. I know that, brother. Everybody know that. But that's their Israel. That's the Rothschilds' Israel. What you going to do about that, son? You're not going to do anything about that but talk about that. That's
All right. Zaz Jones, he made his point, guys. We want to open up the stage if there are any rebuttals, if anybody want to add something else to the conversation.
hey, yeah,
Go ahead.
go. You can go.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead, man.
so the 2 points that they said, one of them, first of all, somebody said about the deal contract that we need United States of buying like arms. And we don't need the United States to buy anything. We have a binding contract with you. We have to. You're a monopoly. You're binding us. We don't want to buy from you. You sell us in expensive prices. That's why you give us the help of $2 billion, $3 billion. We don't need you. Get that contract off. Okay? That's why that war is getting extended because of Biden that didn't allow us to finish the war. This is your fault. Okay, so about if we are Israel or not, listen, this is a prophecy fulfilled. We are the chosen people, right? 80 years, we came back to the land. We are winning. God is with us. If you have any issue, go and talk to God. 70% of all of Israelites that came, they came actually from the Middle East. I know that you read, a few of you read Deuteronomy 28, and because you think that somebody got into slaves and ships, it's you. No, it's happened in the year 75 AD. It's in the Antiquities of the Jews, the book of Josephus Flavius. It's not you. It's happened 1500 years before, bro. It's not you. You are not us. We know our identity. You are lost souls, bro.
Oh, all right. Let me respond to that.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. I got somebody new on the stage. Then I'll come back to you, Chili B. But Hand Rowdy been hanging on for a minute. I almost didn't see him.
Yes,
Hand
sir.
Rowdy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I'm just going to listen for a little bit. It's a pretty good live. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Chili.
All right. So we know for a fact that this identity called Jews did not exist. The letter J didn't even exist until the 1500s. We know that didn't even exist. So those people couldn't have existed. And we also know that Smittler threw y'all out of Germany and created the state of Israel in 1948. You cannot debate that. That's historical fact. And we know that that land was Northern Africa. We know that for a fact because it's nearest to the equator. And we know that the Arabs came in and invaded that land and took a lot of those people and displaced them, just like with Palestine. We know that that's historical fact. Those people who moved came from Persia, they came from Europe, and they came from Asia, which invaded and started to move forward westward into Europe and Germany and throughout the other Celtic regions. Now, we know that. Y'all are not the original people. You need to stop pushing that damn lie. And secondly, again, even if you were or not, you people are not the people of the Most High. Why? Because the scripture says that you're not. The book that you claim to say that you are claims that you are, says that you're not. You can't argue with it. You can't argue because the book says that you're not. It says, I know to them that say they are Jews, but they are not. For they are of the synagogues of Satan. And if you look at the history of since 1948 and what these Jewish people have been doing throughout the whole dang on world, you'll see that it's all been evil, all been for money, all been for their own prestige.
Chili B, just for the sake of your safety, with the TikTok etiquette, they're very sensitive. So we're going to say allegedly. I know what you're saying. But to protect yourself from being for violating any community guidelines, because we really can never tell what they are, okay?
Can I
what
rebuttal?
they might call, misinformation.
Can I
Hold
rebuttal?
on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Minkins. Let's see. Let's give somebody else a chance to communicate on the stage. And let me say to Rowdy, Hand Rowdy, if you want to listen, I can put you in the audience. You can listen. We can get somebody else to come up that want to talk. And then if you want to come back up, Hand Rowdy, you can come back up on the stage. You
All right,
okay
I'm
with
going to
that?
bounce, brother. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's open the stage. Anybody else want to talk? I'll come back to you, Minskin. Let's give somebody a chance to interact.
I'd like to add
Go
something.
ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on some points. First of all, I don't want people to think that all Jays are literally pro-Israeli or that they stand with is not real. I want to make that quite clear. Judaism doesn't say you should go colonize someone else's country. Judaism doesn't say you should do a genocide on innocent people. Judaism doesn't say you should unalive innocent people. So is not real is a colonial project that was set up by a few European Jays that literally went in, stole the Palestinians' land and oppressed them up until today and is still genociding them. Now, Menkins made a very wrong claim. He said that Hezbollah was formed on behalf of Iran, which is a lie. Hizi was literally Lebanese men that went to Iran and said the Israelis are trying to take over our land. And this was at the end of 1981. They went up to Iran, said, help us. The Israelis are on our border. We need to fight them. Nobody's helping us. Iran said, there's your weapons. Any help you need, we will help you go and free your country. And then they kicked out Israel in 1982. That's a clear, it's not Iranian proxies like they like to make us believe. These are Lebanese men that took their country back. And as we speak right now, they are still fighting for their land, because Israel at the moment is in South Lebanon fighting them as we speak. So the fact that you want to come and say that they're Iranians is a total lie. Second of all, Israel is a colonial project, except this time they didn't put Christianity in front, they put Judaism in front. So I just want to make it clear that we're not going to paint all Jays with the same brush. These are radical Jays that are colonizing someone else's land, that is literally putting Judaism as a weapon in front. And if you go against Is Not Real and talk about their government, they call you antiseptic. I don't want to say the word because it might get your actual life taken down, but I'm sure people get what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I just want to say we should always talk against colonization. We should always talk the truth. And right now, the actual sad part is that Is Not Real has infiltrated the American dream, the American actual government, where when Bibi Netanyahu...
Hold on, Truth Seeker. Hold on. We're going to try to stay to that 2 minute, but I want to say, I'm going to have to use your Is Not Real and antiseptic. Okay. That was real clever. Hilarious also. I got somebody new on the stage that we need to let get their comments in. Then we'll open it back up, because for what you said to, Menzen, and you corrected him on a point that he made based on Hezbollah and some other things. I'm sure folks may want to speak, to that. But Z Justice, come on in and let's hear what you got to say, Z Justice.
Yeah, I just want to say that we need to remember that there are not all Palestinians are bad. There's a lot of real Palestinians who speak for Palestine. People who are pro-Palestinians do not understand the Palestinian cause. Let's not forget that the biggest colonizer in the world was Saudi Arabia. It's the Saudis who colonized the whole Middle East, including poor Palestinians. It is the oppression of women rights that occurs in the Palestinian community, because they're being colonized, marginalized by the ideology of extreme theological extremists like Hamas. And these people, whoever speak for Palestine, have no idea what kind of vile colonization they're undergoing. It's very important to remember Palestine was never a state. Palestine never existed. Prior, as a state, there were just people, and then the people who were committed to the massacre of the Jews. And this is the sad reality. But the truth is that at the moment, the real people of the Palestine, the Jordanians who are Palestinians, the Lebanese who wants to live in peace, are colonized by the theological regimes who kill women, abuse women, and use Sharia law to justify atrocities amongst the whole Middle East, which is absolutely ridiculous. God bless Israel and the United States to stand against these powers of darkness and uproot all the terrorist supporters who claim they're Palestinians, but yet don't know what Palestinians really feel or want, unfortunately.
Thank you, Z Justice. And you also got to remember to, on your TikTok etiquette, to say unalive. I want to thank you all for coming into the room. You all tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. Share the live, repost the live, and don't forget the Daily Heart Me that is up there. Wow, you said something, and I wanted to respond. I lost my train of thought, so it'll have to come back to me. Doggone it. So we'll open the stage and let you guys comment. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Decolonization. As you spoke about decolonization. Now, decolonization is a global movement. You spoke about colonization. Decolonization is a global movement. UN Resolution 1514 in conjunction with 1541, also Section 73E. Now, for anyone that wants to be a part of that conversation, you all can join us on Wednesday night. If you go to my page and you'll see the first post there, you'll see it's an event that we have set up for the 25th. And we've been talking about this and organizing ourselves, even right here in the U.S., to decolonize the U.S., because the U.S. has also been under colonization and the colonizers are still here. So collectively and globally, we need to link up to make the effectiveness of decolonization, real. So I just wanted to say that as you brought out colonization and, how it's, a international thing, but there's a remedy, set, and people just need to stand to enforce it. All right, let's open up the stage, guys.
I can talk about that if you want. Decolonization, section 41, number 41, section 1 through 4.
Minkins, I do want to hear from you, Minkins. I do. I just want to make certain, because we got so many other people on the stage. I just want to make certain first, and I'll come back. If nobody else that I hadn't heard from, that you've been sitting on the stage and you've kind of been waiting to, jump in, and you've been practicing patience. All right. If there's anybody else that I hadn't heard from before I let Minkins go, let me hear from you right now if you wanted to add. Otherwise, I'm going to Minkins. All right. Going once, going twice.
I'd like to add.
Okay, go ahead. Hadn't heard from you in a while, Buffalo Soldier. Go ahead, and then we're going to come back to you, Minkins.
Appreciate it. Mine will be quick, I hope. What I've heard.
Remember, you got a minute. Just remember, you got a minute and a half to 2 minutes. I'll cut in there if I need to. Go ahead.
Understood. It won't take that long.
Right.
Since I've been up here, I've heard that the panel seems to consist of quite a few veterans. And so to that point, to those veterans who happen to vote for Trump, I don't see how you could. I mean, I'll go back to that alpha male statement. I mean, that's just bombastic. I mean, we don't need to hear that. And then in terms of Trump and being an alpha or being a leader, look, man, if you're a veteran, you know that a leader, a true leader, takes the blame and gives the credit, not vice versa. And Trump does exactly the opposite. He takes the credit for everything, but doesn't take the blame or responsibility for anything. So for anybody, especially a veteran, to think that man is a good leader, that's antithetical to anything that the military taught you, especially if you was an NCO or an officer.
Okay. All right, Minkins, let's go to you. I think you wanted to talk about decolonization and
for sure. So decolonization. So that's really interesting because actually the one force in history that have the most colonization are the Muslim Arab colonization, because they have 57 countries, and they also took my land of my people, and they exiled us for about 1,300 years. They left only 1,500 Israelites in the land out of 10 million in the year 1880. So we came back into the land. We actually decolonialized also the language, the name of the land, Syria, Palestina, which according to the agreement in 1920, the Muslims Arab got 77% of Syria, Palestina. So if you're looking for Syria, Palestina, according to Declaration 41, section 1 through 4, you go into the splitting of the land, section 2 and section 25. They got 77% of the land, which you called right now Jordan. So if you're looking for Palestina, it's Jordan. And if you want to go and read all about it, that land from the river to the sea is Israel, and it's belonged to the Israelite. It's always been since 1920. Nothing to do with the age course, by the way. So the only one that betrayed us are actually the Christians, because after the fall of the League of Nations, they decided about the splitting of the land in 1920. In 1946, it got dissolved, and the UN betrayed us and split the land again, which actually is not binding. The resolution 1820 is not binding. That's why the only borders that actually decolonialized the land for the Jewish people, what you call the Jewish people, which is the Israelite, which is us, is actually the biggest decolonization in history, brother. And we came into the let it flourish. The only one that could do it, it was abandoned by God. God didn't let any.
All right, hold on, Minkins. Hold on, Minkins. I think you got a couple of people that's gonna want to rebuttal what you said. I do got David Graham that just came on the stage, and some people may disagree with you, Minkins, based on the Belfort, declaration and the fact that God didn't put the people in the land, based on the prophecy, but it was the British military and the U.S. military. But we're going to see if anybody wanted to rebuttal that after we
I want to
give
rebuttal that.
David Graham. We want to give David Graham a chance to speak first. David Graham, and then Zaz Jones may want to rebuttal. David Graham.
Hey, good morning, man. I'm just listening. I disagree with what my man says, though. I think history's upside down, and particularly Jewish history. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm all ears today. Thanks.
Okay. Well, if you're listening, I'm gonna let you listen from the audience, and
That's
if
cool.
you
Sure.
want to come back up, you can, and we'll see if we can get somebody that want to participate. Zaz Jones, you say you want to rebuttal men's.
Yeah, he's saying that they rebuilt the country of Israel. They came in there. They didn't do nothing. The Germans and the United States did that. They didn't have no money. And if the United States pulled out right now, Israel will fall. Them countries will invade Israel and tear Israel up. Israel is a phony, fake country. If you go to Israel, I was in the military. I want to tell that boy something who just told me something about the military too. If you go to Israel, they got two sides. This is how racist they is. I was in Israel. You be on the minority side. If you want to go to the Jewish side, you got to switch taxes. That's how racist they are. In Israel, I can put up a video. A black lady from Africa went to Israel and wanted to see the Israeli side. She went in a bar. An Israeli guy walked over and hit her in the head with a bottle. That's how racist they are. So that boy from Israel, he don't know anything about Israel only for what they have taught him. Just like America has taught lies in their history, Israel is teaching the same lies in their history. And the other guy who was talking about if a veteran, let me tell you something. You're a YT guy. I would never trust you. My daddy told me never to trust you because your folks are the ones that fucked up the world and reclassified people. So I would never trust you, YT guy, telling me about a veteran. You said a veteran because you're talking to a veteran who was woke, not one who is asleep. Yeah, a lot of my peoples are asleep. You're talking to one who's woke. I would never trust anything a YT person say, but I like Trump because he's an alpha male. And see, I never like, you know who Barry Saratoga is? If you tell me who Barry Saratoga is right now, so y'all know him by a different name. See, y'all don't know his real name. Barry Saratoga is Obama. He changed his name in the 80s. Put it up. He was born in Kenya. If you come to California and go to the dumbest college called Antioch, walk in Eagle Rock College when he first went, he got his picture up there. His first name Barry, and his mama named him. His last name was Duham, and then his mama married to the Saratoga family. See, y'all all been twisted. Israel is a
Okay, hold on, Zaz Jones. We feel your passion, on that. Hold on, Zaz Jones. Let's go to as a daddy, and then we're gonna go to
Yeah, what's up? Thank you for having me.
we'll go
So,
to Combo.
yeah, so as a, I'm not sure how exactly you identify yourself, right? But you would never allow a white man to come over and try to tell you your history and tell you about how white people actually are the ones who saved you from Africa and they put you on ships and try to completely distort the history of slavery. So it's really weird that people are trying to narrate the history of the Jewish people. First of all, the British did not bring the Jews in. The British stopped Jews fleeing from the Holocaust from coming into Israel. The Americans also did not actually sign any kind of agreements with Israel all the way until 1967. Okay, so to have this distortion of history that the Jews were somehow brought in by the Europeans or that the Europeans ushered this in, no, the only thing that ended up happening was that the Europeans have allowed the Jews to come back to their ancestral homeland, just the same way as the Europeans were pressured into giving up their colonies in Africa, right? And instead of giving it to some random person from the Middle East, they gave it to the indigenous people, the Jewish people.
Okay, so as a daddy says, the Balfour Declaration, that's not real history, and that the military forces didn't make it happen. Let's go to Combo, and then we're going to open the stage up for any rebuttals. Combo going once, Combo going twice.
I didn't said Balfour. I said the splitting of
Combo
the
is having
Republic
an
of
issue with his microphone. He can't come off. Now, I didn't say you said anything about Belfort Minkins. I was making the statement that based on what Azadaddy, is saying, that history based on the Belfort Declaration and the militaries bringing the people into the land, that's all not true. That's all,
I corrected you.
false history. But hold on one second, Minkins. Anybody else wanted to respond or wanted to reply
Yes, sir.
to either
Yeah,
Minkins? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jarrell.
yes, sir. I don't know why we keep getting this misconception about Israel. I mean, it's in the history books. I mean, like everybody can say whoever the victor can write the history book, but it clearly says that the current modern day Israel is from Germany, Ireland, Poland, Ukraine. So all those people that's there are not the original people. We all know that. And my only question is, where are all the dark-skinned people? What happened to the black people that was in Pakistan and Israel? Every time you see them on anywhere, there are no dark-skinned people. What did they do? Eat them? What happened to them? So if anybody can answer me that question, if you are Israel, if you're from Israel, the modern day Israel, because that is not Israel was a tribe. It never was a nation or a state. It was a tribe of people, the tribe of Jacob. So if you don't know your true history, so you shouldn't and get on here saying that, because it never was a people. So it was never was a state.
I can
Okay,
answer that if you want.
don't.
Okay. We got Moon Fox hadn't spoken in a minute. Moon Fox want to get in there, but let me say this, guys. Tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't forget the Daily Heart Me up there. Do share the live, repost the live, guys. The room is full. Yeah, let's keep it going. Moon Fox, did you want to? I see you off your mic. Did you want to respond before we go to somebody else?
Sure. I just have one question for the panel. After the young man responds to that, I think I forgot which one it is. Anyway, somebody had already said they wanted to respond to something, but this is something the panel can discuss later. That history over there is such a tangled mess. And I think there is a lot of disinformation and a lot of things that have been shaped by things that are not necessarily really true. But I do know that I remember living through several decades of wondering why in the world that over there couldn't be settled, between the nation of Israel and the Palestinians and other things like that. And I just remember deal after deal after deal, offering after offering. This can be your land. We'll do a two state solution, and everything was always turned down. And I couldn't understand that. And I mean, you see people go through 30, 40 years of trying to work out something, but nothing was ever acceptable as far as, okay, we will live over here, you live over there, boom. It was just odd to me. So I want to know more about that, but I don't want to, diverge too much onto the onto the history of Israel and Palestine. But it's really easy to paint a whole nation or a whole people with the brush of racism and all of that. And I just think that I just think that's too simplistic of a thing to do. And that includes people who determine that European and people that are of Caucasian descendants and all of that they are automatically guilty of every bad thing in the world. That's just ridiculous. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you for those thoughts right there. And right, we don't want to sidetrack, our conversation and get off into, Israeli history, but definitely Azadadi and Minkins, they have a unique perspective, centered around those things, and seem like a number of the people on the panel um, don't necessarily, agree with what's being expressed. And I'll say this, I have not been able to touch on none of the topics. I'm not mad because maybe I'll have to come back to it, a little bit later because I'll have to shut this down around 12:30. I have to go to a committee meeting, but and maybe I can pick it up then. But I wanted to talk about the IRGC, the most recent warning they put out. I wanted to talk about boots on the ground and why the Israeli people couldn't send their troops, in as far as boots on the ground. And then the 3 demands to end the war that Iran put up. So I do have several things I could read on that, but for the sake of time and because the panel is full, I'll keep it open, and maybe when I come back, I can actually get to those 3 points. But how about boots on the ground? Maybe we can deal with that. Boots on the ground and the
Let me
Israelis.
answer that question, please. Let me answer that question,
Hold
please.
on 1 second. The Israelis should send their own troops, in to deal with this confrontation. Mencken said the U.S. ain't no good, no way, and hadn't helped them, so they can handle it, by themselves. All right. Z Jazz
Yes, first of all,
Jones.
first of all, I work with a lot of Israelis here in California. I work with a lot of Zion Jews in California, and they don't like Israelis. Israelis is the lowest when they come over here. They're the lowest. They like us minorities to the Zions. Now I'm gonna tell you why they don't have boots on the ground. Because Israel will lose that war. If we moved away from them, Israel gonna fall. It's gonna fall. Even Trump said that. Even Putin said that. Putin and Trump, I can show up a video where Putin and Trump is talking. If I can put this video, and Putin and Trump is saying Israel is not the chosen folks. Most of the folks that came from Israel came from Morocco, Iran. My daughter's from Morocco, and if the Israelis on here know what I'm talking about, they migrate. They a lot of them migrated from Morocco. They will not win a war, brother. If we moved out, they would fall. You hear me, boy? They got the worstest army in the world. They talk that they got a good army. They have some weapons. We give them same weapons we give Ukraine. We don't give them the good stuff. So if we moved away from Israel today, moved away from the war in the Middle East, and I'm right, and everybody know I'm right, they will fall. Israel
I'm
will fall.
confused why Jew
Simple as
haters
that.
are responding to the questions of whether or not Israel should put boots on the ground.
Yeah, can I rebuttal?
Hold on. Let Asdaddy go. Go ahead, Asdaddy.
I wasn't
Yeah.
even finished, but go ahead.
Well, no, Zaz, first of all, you didn't.
I kind of interjected Zaz Jones again because we got so many people on the stage and we are kind of doing popcorn style right now. I want you guys to get into that 1 minute 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and kind of get in and get out so that other people can have a chance to speak, and we'll try to circle back to you if you couldn't get everything out. But it seemed like Zaz Daddy want to rebuttal.
Yeah, so first and foremost, black people didn't just pop up in America out of thin air. They didn't just magically appear there, just the same way Jewish people didn't just magically appear in Morocco or in Poland or in Algeria or in Iraq or in Iran or wherever it was that they were in diaspora. We were either pushed there, or when it comes to Jews that come from Europe, they were taken there in chains in slavery by the Roman Empire when the Romans conquered this land. First and foremost. So again, you do not get to dictate my people's history. You're more than welcome to go and read it. It's all out there in the open. You can go read each Jewish diaspora's history, and you can go find that information for yourself. We all know exactly at what time period our ancestors went to whichever country they resided in for the past 2,000 years. And on top of that, On top of that, during the 12-day war between Israel and Iran last summer, Israel actually did have boots on the ground. Israel's the only one who had special forces on the ground. And I'll be more than happy if Israel went in and put whatever special forces they felt they needed to put into Iran. Because guess what?
Okay. All right. Zaz, as a daddy, you made your points there. I know.
Let me say something, brother. Let me say something right quick.
Hold on, Zaz Jones. Let's see if anybody else want to jump in
Yes.
before I give it back to Zaz Jones.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll be real brief.
Hold on. Let's get Truth Seeker. Hadn't heard from Truth Seeker. She's gonna tell us about is not real and antiseptic. Go ahead, Truth Seeker.
Yeah, now the fact that he said they had boots on the ground, intelligence services are not boots on the ground. I just want to make that clear. You had Mossad on the ground, correct, but you didn't have actual soldiers on the ground. Second of all, I think the Americans should take what Mencken said. He said is not real, does not need American soldiers. They don't need America to do anything. So I think the American people should take that from a proud Israeli and literally leave them so they can put their own boots on the ground. You guys have already lost 7 soldiers. May they rest in peace. You don't need to lose more people so that they can sit there and literally sip their coffees in Tel Aviv while your men are being unalived. So I think what the American people should do is leave them to themselves. Let the Israelis go and do their suicidal mission by themselves in Iran and not literally send you guys to go do their dirty work. I think it's about time American people take their land back. You take your Congress back. You take your actual government back and say, you know what, America first. F every single other country. We're not going to save anyone. We're not going to free anyone. We need to literally focus on ourselves. Our veterans that are literally dying right now from starvation, our veterans that are homeless should be our first thing we should be looking at. The prices of people actually having to struggle from not having health care should be focused on. We shouldn't be, I think it's about time America becomes great by putting America first. Leave the Middle East alone. It's not your beef.
Okay. All right. Truth Seeker, very passionately once again. And I know there were 3 or 4 people that wanted to come in and add to the conversation. Anybody that we hadn't heard from, in a minute.
Mind if I say something? Oh, go ahead. Mind if I say something real quick? I'll respond to the guy up top. The guy up top don't know anything. He don't know anything. Okay, yes.
Zaz Jones and then Menkins.
The guy up top, his name is AZA. He don't know anything about Black history. He don't know anything about American history, only what they have told him, the white people. You got to remember, Columbus said it when he got here. When they saved him off that boat and that boat was sinking in the ocean, he said he met indigenous people and they was all Black. So when you talk about indigenous people, Israel is not indigenous. They're not indigenous. They're just trying to put themselves in the place of some other people. Trump and Putin said, I can put up the video. They are not the chosen people. They are not the chosen people. And you're not. The Zion Jews they cannot stand y'all. All y'all do is beg like gypsies in the train in England. That's all y'all do is beg for money. Y'all not the true people. And I hope we pull out for y'all sinking ship could sink. I hope we put out as a veteran for y'all sinking ship could sink. That's what I hope.
Hold on. All right, we got Pablo. Pablo new to the conversation. Pablo, welcome to the stage. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. If first of all, I'm going. If they are the real Jew, why they don't want to take a DNA test? They never want to take a DNA. If you guys know the history of the Jew, they not even the chosen people. The real Jew, they are from Africa. It's a tribe called a Flasha. I don't know if you guys know about Flasha. Okay, the dark-skinned people. These Jews, they came from Europe. They're not even a Jew. They don't want to take a DNA. They don't want to do nothing. America need to mind their own business. I think we should not fight for them. We should not lose our children for war. It's not our war.
Okay.
And then
So the falasha is a derogatory term that was used.
All right, let me finish.
He's using a slur right now, host. You're letting him use a slur.
Let me express something to you as a daddy.
No.
If you don't control yourself as a daddy, I'm gonna have to take you down. Let me express this. Do not just pop off your mic. We're going to deal with decorum. You'll have a chance. Nobody interrupted you when you spoke. I will not have you interrupting, anyone else. If you want to rebuttal, we'll open it up. We'll let you rebuttal. Okay. I don't know what he's saying. Whether it's derogatory. I don't know. I'm not familiar, with that. But he's trying to make his point. So let's let him finish his point, and then if you want to rebuttal, we'll give you an opportunity, guys. But do not just pop off your mic and interrupt people. All right, go ahead, finish your thought. Pablo,
Okay.
you got
Thank you,
15
my brother.
seconds.
Thank you. Before 1945, the England, the British, they trying to send the Israel, the Jewish people to where? To East Africa, Uganda. Okay. When they find out Uganda, East African leader Uganda say no, we don't want no Jews in Uganda. The England, the British say okay, let's take him to the Israel, Palestine. Okay. They not the original people. Northeast Africa. Israel is Africa. African continent, it is black people country. My brother.
Okay, all right, Pablo. Pablo made some good points. I think.
Okay, can I speak? Can I speak now?
Azadaddy, and then Minskin will come to you. Azadaddy, you was coming
I
off your
appreciate
mic.
it. Yeah,
Can I
host.
go after him, host?
If somebody came up here and started using the N-word, you would have not let that fly. But for some reason, this Pablo individual can come up here and use a slur against my brothers and sister, the Bet Israel, the house of Israel that moved down to Ethiopia after the destruction of the first temple. You're letting him use a slur called the F word, okay, that was used against.
Azadaddy, I said I'd never heard it. I mean, I'm not familiar
That's why I'm
with.
educating you.
Okay, I still don't even know what he said. So your education is kind of going over my head. That was like my first time.
The F word that he used is the equivalent of the N word that was used against my brothers and sisters.
I just said I don't know what it is, but okay, keep
Okay,
talking.
not knowing is not an excuse, brother. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you can't blame me for something I don't know. I don't know. Never
But
heard.
when I tell you that it's a slur, you need to understand that it's a slur.
I'm trying to.
He don't need to understand none that you're telling him. He don't need to understand none that you're telling him because what you're telling him.
Hold on, Zaz John. I don't need no help, guys. As Daddy, I'm trying to understand. I'm expressing to you. I never heard it. I can't even remember what he said. And whatever you're explaining, I don't know what you're talking about. I get you saying it's a slur, but I don't know what the word is. Okay,
There, some guy put it in the chat just now. Read that word. That is the equivalent of the N word. If you had a Russian guy said, "Oh, I never heard the N word. For me, it's not a racist term." Okay, you're never gonna let that fly. But for some reason, if it's a black Jew, it's okay to use slurs against them.
Listen, Azadaddy, you can't come up here and try to say what I will or won't do. This is an open platform, okay? I let people speak, to their opinions, good, bad, and or indifferent, and then we'll deal with it, from the intellectual standpoint, we deal with it. So don't come up here and try to act like you know me, this platform. We've had people come up here and express themselves, and for the most part, most people are responsible. They know TikTok etiquette. I'm just telling you, whatever the gentleman said, I'm unfamiliar with what it is. So, if I can go on, we can continue to have a healthy debate and or discussion. I would like to do that. Okay.
Yeah, we can continue, but that's why I'm just letting you know that this is a slur. Okay? But now I'm going to respond to what he just said. Okay? First of all, the Bet Israel, the house of Israel, moved down to Ethiopia during the time of the first temple. They have their history. If you actually cared about them, you would go and you read their history. Okay, just the same way as all of our diasporas have our history. By the way, it was a little bit crazy because Truth Seeker here said, oh no, 7 American soldiers have lost their lives. But yesterday, she was sitting on a panel and celebrating the fact that American soldiers were unalived. Yet you guys are sitting here and somehow listening to somebody who hates you, somebody who already hates everything that you stand for, because she's just saying things that sound good to you in the moment. It's crazy.
Host, could I say something?
Hold on, wait a minute.
May I respond
Men's,
as well?
hold on.
Can
Who
I
said,
can
can
I
I
answer him?
respond? Well,
Yeah, that was me, host.
okay, let me get Menskin, Jarrell, and then Zaz Jones.
So I will try to do it quickly. First of all, Trump or Putin never said anything that he said. Actually, Trump says that without Netanyahu, Israel would not be existed. Actually, I didn't say that you don't have an issue with Iran. They threaten you. They said to unalive Americans for 47 years. Now, because you have been invaded by the Islamists, you are weakened. The United States are weakened. Everything that you have is a propaganda. You have Islamists on your panel right now, at least like 3 that claim that they're Americans, but they're working against you. They want to unalive you. They want you to think that this is not your deal. This is exceptional what's going on. Like you're actually being invaded from the inside. And the troops that got unalived that actually were in Iran and in Kuwait and in other states outside of Iran, this is how they fooled you. You are weak-minded. Oh, and by the way, about 850,000 Israelites came from Arab land, from the Middle East into Israel in 1948 to 1951. We are the real Israelite, bro. We have 2,000 years of communication between ourselves. We have laws of Omar laws of the evil Muslims against us. We can show you records also by the Letrino, the 1315 Convention of the Letrino. In Europe for 800 years you had laws against us. You Christians, you and the Muslims fought against us, had laws against us on records. We know
Why
who
was
we
that?
are, brother.
Why was that?
You don't know who we are. You
Why
don't
was
know
that?
who you are. You have an
Don't
identity
interrupt.
crisis because the white man. Now we're gonna build the temple soon, brother. We are the authority. You need to understand. We are the chosen people, brother, and this is amazing. History and God is with us. And there is nothing that
Okay.
anybody can change.
All right, Menkins, you're starting to be redundant. You're repeating yourself, but we got somebody new on the stage.
I'm sorry, I'm getting
Raza,
excited. I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is
Raza
Cynthia.
Lowe.
Thank you for having me.
Raza Lowe. And let me say, Raza Lowe, before you speak, you guys tap the
Yeah.
screen. It don't cost you anything. The Daily Heartman is up there. You guys, the room is packed. We've been rolling, today. I think I'm going to end up getting off of here in about 30 minutes because I got a committee meeting I got to go to, okay? But we're going to let
Put me
Raza.
up in big screen real quick because people are lying in the chat. I'll stay on mute.
Okay, we're going to let Raza say what he got
I
to
just
say.
want to show this, sir.
Oh, you want
Okay,
to
we're
show
going to let
something?
Raza
Okay.
say what he want to say. Raza, just remember your TikTok etiquette, okay?
Yes,
And,
I will.
go ahead,
Thank
say
you
what
for
you got to
having me.
say.
Well, this is for Menkins. He's been talking about the history of the Jews for such a long time, but he forgets to mention that it was his own people that actually made the whole Israeli project be happening with the Havara Agreement during the World War II. For those who don't know, basically they are the elitist Jews that made sure they scared the hell out of the local Jews and agreed to work with the Nazis so that they would be able to convince the Jews to be shipped to Israel to begin with. That's one. The second is that the Bolshevik Jews have unalived 17 million Christians. That's why they maybe have fought you. The Romans have
Hold on, Raza. Raza, I just want to help you out here with being able to say allegedly. These are some very sensitive,
Wow,
subjects that
that
you're
was
bringing.
crazy lies.
And hold on, I don't need no help, Minkins. You just want to be able to say allegedly so you don't get flagged for misinformation. And I understand you're passionate about, what you're talking about. And I just want to be able to protect the live and protect you, in the process. So go ahead, Rizza, finish your thought.
Yes, let me stand. Thank you.
This
No
is the
problem.
quality of your life, bro. Wow.
Well, I'm still talking, Menkins.
Minkins, please be respectful, man. Nobody interrupts you when you're
Lasting.
talking.
The last thing that I want to add is that the Romans have expelled them because of their beliefs that the rest of us were not counted as humans. Those are the things that have targeted you in the past as well. And to talk about a 72-year standing kingdom, which was the kingdom of King David, 2,500 years ago, that was the only time that you actually had a place, and that was kind of allegedly placed nearby the north of Beirut, not in Palestine. But you go ahead and think that you're in the right for unaliving kids. That's the only thing your army can do. And that's not
The
a
Kingdom of David was
alleged.
in Beirut? Crazy. Anyways, can you put me up in big screen real quick? Because they're still lying in the chat. And I
It
need
was
to show you
placed in the
this, and this
north of
also...
Beirut, allegedly. Yeah, you go back.
He gonna show you some fake documents from Israel. That's all he gonna show you, some fake history.
Let me say this, guys. Okay, I just removed Azadaddy because he can't stop coming off the mic when people are talking. I'm for real about this. If you all can't control yourself and not just be popping off this mic, I'm gonna have to put you in the audience. Okay, we got two new people that just came up on the stage. Real American, I think, American First, and then Rothschild. We're gonna let them speak. And like I said, I'm gonna be kind of shutting this down at 12:45. So go ahead, America First, and then
Oh,
Rothschild.
thank you for having me. I honestly, I think the Jews are living in denial all their lives, and they just keep carrying out their own problems to the others. So the only way they think that they could survive is by taking others' properties, and this is a problem that they have to come up to, where they have to really agree that they should do something totally different than what they're doing. They stole the Palestinians. They keep saying that Palestine did not exist. I'm a Palestinian Christian, and I have been tortured in Israel by those basically mafia guys. They're really literally they're mafia guys. The Haganah and all these groups that they came in, that they were actually killing and unaliving Palestinians just to take their own properties. And this is exactly what they're doing here in the United States. They really need to decolonize the United States from these robber mafia guys like Cruz, Trump, and all these other guys. We end up paying for our homes. I have to work for 40 or 50 years to own my home because I'm paying half of that money in taxes to Mary Andelson because she gave me a loan to own my house. She's charging me 10% on interest after all. And everybody, you got credit cards. All this money's going to them. This is their mentality. They just have to screw everybody else to be able to survive. And I think this is the time that they should come down and sit down and say, look, we're screwed. You don't have to do that. Nobody hates Jews just because you're a Jew. Nobody does. We hate what you do. You're doing. You're stealing people. You got credit card bills. Every single home in the United States have a credit.
Okay, America First. I want to try to, help you out too. When you make those type of comments, you do want to say allegedly, again, so that you don't get hit, for misinformation. Look, Rothschild wants to speak, and then Truth Seeker, wants to say something. And I think I'm gonna get one more person up on the stage, you all, and we're gonna be out of here at 12:45. Go ahead.
One last thing, say
Can I
automatically
rebuttal
I'm
the
being
evil
an
Muslim
anti-Semitic
lies?
right now.
Hello?
The evil.
Go ahead, Rothschild.
Yeah, so I'm an Iranian. من فارسی حرف میزنم. اگر if anybody can hear speak Farsi, I'd be happy to speak Farsi. The Muslims are the greatest enemy to my people and to the entire world. These Palestinians are terrorists. Terrorists. Where were they when Khamenei was unaliving 40,000 of young, brave people when they went out to protest this Islamic perverted ideology, burning down 36 mosques? These people here, these Palestinians, nor Gaza, nor Lebanon, we are done with you. We stand with the people of Israel and we stand with the Jewish people.
Another
Netanyahu and
Iranian Jew.
Trump
That's it.
and Netanyahu and Trump are the free leaders of this world. We want to get rid of Islam, not Muslims, but Islam. Islam is the
Go on, man.
greatest enemy of the entire world.
Another Iranian Jew. That's your
Yep.
problem.
You see, the evil Muslims, they can
Hold
handle it.
on.
They,
Hey guys, look, y'all getting out of control.
Hello.
You can't control your emotions. Maintain your mic. Guys, that's a rule coming up on this platform. Nobody comes off their mic. We're going to let everyone have their say, good, bad, or indifferent. I didn't let anybody interrupt you when you
I'm
were
gonna
talking.
go.
I want you to give that
I'm
same
gonna
respect.
go. Thank you
You
for
know, I want you to give that same respect to, everyone else. Okay, Truth Seeker, you wanted to speak after Rothschild spoke, and then I think we got somebody new that came up on the stage, Quintero.
I think we got maybe the Shah's cousin. He just spoke 2 seconds ago. It's just hilarious. Your name is literally Rothschild, which is literally where the Balfour Declaration got done. So yeah, kudos to you. This is what we call a fake Iranian. Number one, a true Iranian is not going to speak Farsi. Your Farsi was crap, by the way. Second of all, Iranians, a lot of them are Muslim, and obviously you say Islam, which means you don't understand shit. So please, as an Iranian, first of all, fix your Farsi. Your teacher was kind of crap. You need to work more on the accent. Second of all, speaking one sentence in Farsi, which literally was the worst Farsi I've heard for a very long time, which is hilarious. So there's a lot of these fakos. The Tel Aviv people who actually are making people to learn Farsi for the Iranians. But I think you guys need to work on the accents. Y'all are still shitty on that. So whatever he said, please ignore it. He's not a true Iranian. He's literally some Jew that's sitting in, and I'm sorry, I don't want to sound antiseptic, that he's sitting literally and thought that he done well with his Farsi. Bro, you sucked. I'm sorry. I know true Iranians, and Iran is literally kicking your ass, and that's why you guys can't do anything to them, and you want the US to go and do your work. So go and work on that accent. Learn what Islam and Muslim is. Again, you failed on that. W to the real Iranians who is kicking your asses, and that you need to bring the poor United.
Truth Seeker.
can I rebuttal that?
Truth Seeker, you are full of fire and passion. Make sure you follow me so you'll know when I go live. Again, we can finish this conversation. I would like to have, your thoughts as, a part of being able to deal with some of the folk that come up, because it seems like, you're from there and a lot of what's going on. We got somebody new that came on the stage, Quintero.
Yeah, hello.
Hold on, let's get Quintero, and let's get Quintero.
First of all, I'm exil Iranian too. And the guy that came in and told about 40K people died in something is a lie. Because the propaganda news in USA, it's called Iran International, spread these lies. They told 40K people died. This is impossible. If Israel killed about 80K people in Gaza in 2 years with full bombing, how can Iran kill 40K people in 1 day? This is the propaganda they spread because they have no knowledge. Even if he's Iranian, he's exil Iranian who never was in Iran, or maybe a long time ago he was in Iran. The new Iran that is now modern, there's nothing about slavery of women or something like this. This is all propaganda they spread. The news they now spread, a 19-year guy, innocent guy, is hanged by the regime. This bullshit, the guy killed 2 officers while an ongoing terrorist attack. In USA, they would hang 2 if he did this crime. This is the kind of propaganda they spread to influence people to be on their side. And they have no knowledge about the real Iran. They never was there. They're all sitting in exile and talking. They're repeating something they heard from other people.
Rebuttal the evil Muslims?
Thank you for your thoughts. Minkins, I got some new folks on stage. Let me get them. And guys, we're gonna shut down at 12:45. I gotta go to a committee meeting. I'm gonna go to Deep X, and then I'm gonna come down to Jay, and then after that, we
Please,
can
me
come
too.
to you, Minkins, if we still got time. You guys make sure you
Thank you.
tap the screen. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the daily heart me up there, share the live, repost the live, and just follow me. So when we come back to pick up and finish this conversation, you guys can be in the room when we do it. Go ahead, Deepak.
Okay, thank you very much. Everyone wants to be a Jew, whether whatever race, color, creed. Everyone wants to be a Jew, but what's their end game is to build the third temple and the greater Israel. That's why they're pushing for these borders from river to river. The two
The
blue
two
lines
blue
on the
lines.
flag is the two rivers. So what are they going to do in the temple? They're going to sacrifice animals. What? Hello, animals are not favorable to God already. Only Abraham. He said to Abraham, "I will send my son, and you will sacrifice not an animal." So everyone should not be trying to become a Jew because they're not. The Judaism grew up into become the what they call now spiritual Israel, Catholicism.
Hold on, Deepak. Deepak, we are short on time, and I just want to make sure we get Jay into the conversation, guys, and we're going to come back. Just make sure you follow me so you'll get the notification when we do go live. Jay, let me try to get you on before we look to wrap it up in 15 minutes here. Go ahead, Jay.
Hiya all, you're right. Hello.
Yes, Jay, how are you? Go
I,
ahead.
I think I might be wrong, but I feel like most of people talking here since I joined in, it's just about like personal stuff. But I think we're losing the plot. I think the main thing is to look about in terms of how to end the war, or what they call what they call causing this war to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like there's two things here. One thing is that the American or the U.S., they want to put their hands on Iranian oil. Do you know what I mean? And then the other thing is the Israel. Israel want to remove all the threats that it thinks that in the Middle East, which is like Iran, Iraq, what happened before. Now they're attacking the Iran. Then we don't know after that. But yeah, I think so. This war basically, is a two nations, interests. All they've got their own interests on this war. Like America, they want to put their contract on Iranian soil, and Israel want to remove the threat that pose to them, like all the military strong arm in the Middle East. He wants to remove that. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like the other Arab world or Arab countries, they need to wake up. Like putting this in a simple form, like if we remember, all of us, last year when Qatar was attacked by the Israel, the delegation of Hamas, when they were, meeting taking place in Israel, all those surface-to-air missiles, they didn't work. So why now the surface-to-air missiles in the whole Gulf countries are working, stopping all the Iranian missiles? The reason for this is that, with Iranian, I really respect them. I really respect them, and I applaud as far as what they've gone so far. They managed to develop this long-range missile, whatever you call them, yeah, and under the sanctions that have been imposed to them for more than 47 years ago. So with the Gulf countries, the problem they have, and I might be wrong, but I feel like they buying a lot of military equipment, from the United States. So they cannot use them. They cannot use any of those. It's like, to them, it's like toys, if you know what I mean. So
Okay, Jay, I want to thank you for helping. bringing us back on point, because you're right. They were going way off to the left and to the right, but you kind of brought us back into the center. We got one more. Hugh King is on the stage. Hugh King, what you want to say, Hugh King? You've been holding on patiently.
Hey there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the invite. So I'm sitting here listening to you guys, and as of late, I've been watching certain aspects of the United States and Israel and Iran. And, you know, this is not such an easy, clear-faced thing in the sense that one would have had to follow Israel, Iran for a very, very long time. You know, there's so much misinformation put out, and especially for people living in the U.S., include myself in many ways. We've all been indoctrinated into a way of thinking and belief. Actually, blacks in America, over half of them don't even really know where their roots are, you know, and that's just in the reality. So what I try to do is I try to bag up and come out of the camouflage, come out of the bombardment, you know, all that is concerning these matters. And truly, even though we're here in the United States, we are affected by what's going on. So I would advise for somebody like me that's trying to seek truth, right? Trying to seek who the real enemy is. And there is an enemy here, and it's an enemy of all mankind. That is a fact. So I try to look at where the devastation, what person, what human being, what person with humanity would destroy lives like they don't even matter, you know, and I would try to link those forces that connect with this type of mentality. It's just a deep thing, it's a long thing, and it's something that I'm following, and I will continually to watch your live because you're giving me some good information, man.
Appreciate you, Hugh King. I'm gonna let Menken speak, and then I got somebody new coming on, and we're gonna get ready to close out. See, baby, after Menken, I know Menken.
Let me speak after him.
You've been itching, Menken, to say something. If we got time, I'll get to you, Zaz Jones. We're gonna get Menkins, then C Baby, and if I got time, I'll come to you, Zaz Jones.
I want to start with there is nothing that anybody can do to stop this train. This train is going till the end, till submission. We're gonna submit all of the T groups in all of our area till they're gonna submit like they submit to Allah. They're gonna say they had us soon. They're gonna pray to Israel to stop. There is nothing that anybody can do this right now. Brother, listen, nobody will threat any Jew or any Israel from now on. We are putting the
You
line.
hijack the
This
identity of
is
the Jews.
beautiful.
You don't
We're
speak for
gonna
them,
free
you
the
lying.
Persian. We're gonna free the Baha'is. We're gonna free the Yazidis. We're gonna free the Druze. We're gonna free everybody. This is gonna be amazing. All the Arab occupation of the last 40.
Okay, Menkins. Okay. All right, hold on, Menkins. I don't know if you trolling now or what's going on, but Z Daddy, I'm sorry, Zaz Jones.
I'm
Jones.
serious.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead,
serious.
Zaz Jones, and you
I
guys.
want to say one thing before I go, brother. I want to say one thing
We
before
got
I go.
about 9 minutes, and then I'm gonna be out. Go ahead, Zaz Jones.
I want to say one thing before I go, brother. That other guy who's talking about what Israel's going to do, he's just happy this is happening. You know, he's just happy this is happening. But if you go back to 1945 and look in the Bible, you can't find Israel nowhere in that Bible. And you can't find the term God in that Bible. You can't find a term God in that Bible. So Israel, like the lady said, is a new means, but Israel has no power. No power throughout the world. Israel is ran by the Red Russians, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'm getting deep in this shit. I'm retired military. I dealt with the Red Russians. They ran by the Red Russians. America is the only strong unit by themselves because they have a president. They run the world. Germany runs China. We got 3 superpowers here, but they're not this. They're just the heads that's put in charge. The head. I'm saying Israel's a third world country. Like the guy was saying, we got to stop these. He said he got a mortgage loan. He got all these kind of loans. That ain't got nothing to do with Israel. That got to do with the Zion Jews, brothers. That's nothing to do with Israel. Don't blame them for that. They're a third world country. That has nothing to do with Israel. You know? So what I want to talk about, I just want Trump to do one thing now, since he done blew everything up in Iran and Israel got such a strong military. I want Trump to put out and bring all of us home and let them handle their business over there, sending their troops in. And I'll tell you, when that happened, I'm retired military. When that happened, you'll see Israel fall. You'll see them fall.
Okay, all right, Zaz Jones. I'm gonna let Roz Lowe get the last word, guys, and then I'm gonna do my closing speak until I come back. Hopefully, you guys followed me, and I'll see you when we open this panel. Once again, Roz Lowe, I'll let you get the last word, and then I'll do my closing remarks.
Thank you, thank you. Well, basically, Menkins is brainwashed. He shouldn't be speaking out of name for the Jews as such, because Zionists have basically hijacked their identity as well, if you ask me. As long as the Judeo-Christian BS, allegedly, that's all in your head, man. I don't know who you're booming or where you're going, but apparently they're coming to you. And you're probably either in a bunker or not even in Israel. But if you are, I would like to advise you to go back to Poland, where your home is, and stop talking so much nonsense about your religion. You're not a theologue. If you want to speak about it, let's go head to head, but you can't take it up with Islam. And if you do, this is not the place. Such Zionist bullshit crap. It just shows how brainwashed they are. I thank you for having me, and I'm glad you exposed them and let them speak.
Yeah, hey, I have to let people, say what they have to say, good, bad, or indifferent. In the end, I hope to learn something, and
Thank you.
also to create healthy debate. But I do want to say the truth seeker, your energy and your passion. I hope you come back, because we're having this conversation consistently. It's on a pop-up though, so hopefully you guys will hang in there, follow me, and look for this room to come open again. As we really try to make sure everyone can be heard, and we want to do it respectfully. So as we close out, you guys tap the screen. It don't cost you anything. The last Daily Heart Me's, you can get them up there. I don't need you to repost and share right now, because we're getting ready to get up out of here. Truth Seeker, did you want to say anything? Well, I got 5 more minutes.
May I add, I found the channel thanks to her, so I thank her.
Nice to see
Have a
you,
great day,
sis.
sis. Thank you for having me, Papa. Have a great day.
Host, I just want to say one of the best lives ever. Definitely will be back when you're live. If God wills, of course, if I'm still here. But just want to say great live. I'm happy that everyone had the same great decorum. And I just wish all TikTok lives would be the same respectful as yourself. And I just want to say at the end of the day, we all, for humanity, we should all remember, I always say, live by one rule: don't do to others as you don't want them to do unto you. But unfortunately, with capitalism, greed, egos, the military making billions and millions from money, making weapons and selling weapons, I don't think we'll ever have peace, because it all comes down to money, which is the root of all evil. That's what I believe. But host, WU, and bless you and your family, brother. Thank you so much. And I hope the veterans don't go to Iran. I don't want any of the Americans coming back for a war that is never yours to begin with. Take care, host. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Truth Seeker. I do want to tell you guys, just for research purposes, look up Operation Ajax. Look up Operation Ajax, you guys. It'll give you a little bit of history as to what's going on over there, and you'll come to understand the Iranians just didn't wake up and start saying they hate people. There's, some real things that have transpired. And somebody earlier put Operation Paperclip. I remember something about that. I don't really know the full details, but maybe the next time you all can explain, to me about the Operation Paperclip. But I appreciate everybody that came onto the stage, that gave their thoughts and opinions, good, bad, and or indifferent, But until the next time, you all be safe out there. Wherever you are, good night, good morning, good evening.